this conversation is about the Dragon Dreaming Arts Village in Saaremaa in Estonia, which is happening in August. You might not know or never met on online, and then coming and co-creating and of course, there is a part of us that wants to know what's going to happen and what's the value and what's the but then it's sort of life is an unfolding, is an emerging, right? Life is, we don't really know, we can make plans, but then we say sometimes, human make plans and God laughs. And so um and we're definitely living in the moment of human history where God is laughing a lot, and and humans are trying to, maybe I feel some of us try to rethink how we plan or non-plan or unplan our lives. So, but we are planning to be there with the family and joining. So we made the jump into the unknown already and coming for part of this 2 weeks experience. And yeah, maybe I don't know who wants to start, but tell me more about the thing that we jumped into. What is it? What is it about? And yeah, how did you get into it?
I think I want to say one thing at the very beginning of this conversation, and thank you for having us all part of this, Yuri. There was a point we've been planning for this particular thing for 9 months, pretty much meeting every week. And there was some point in our planning, because originally we called it an arts retreat. And there was some point where I don't even know who first mentioned it, as you often don't in collective things remember that, but that there was some point when that word retreat turned to village. And it turned to that because we realized that's what we were really wanting to create for this short period of time. And I think when that transition happened, something opened up much deeper than we even imagined in the beginning.
Yeah, I want to add to that because, the word comes up is a pop-up village. Pop-up village. And I remember like we are experimenting with making little videos of why we're doing this. And I feel like this word came to me because I remember the feeling of the village life in my childhood at my grandmother's house back in Moldova, and what it felt like. And I so much miss it in my life right now. And I was just thinking about, well, why would people come to this? Because we know a lot of things are happening in the world right now, and there is a sense of urgency to do so many things, and people are really organizing and so responsive to like disasters and like saving something. But to me, this is also a sense of urgency to start creating new places, new possibilities, because just like coming and rescuing and it's necessary. I experienced that myself after the car accident. I needed to be rescued and helped. It was an urgency. But also for me, this is another way of urgency. Let's start creating these new places where we have new ways of being together and doing things and practicing it, really practicing it, not taking any more like workshops or talking about it, but let's do it. And to me, I feel the great sense of urgency to start doing it. This is like why I'm traveling all across the continents to get to this island too, because we have a group of people who are willing to do that and creating space and time to do that.
Yeah, beautiful, Svetlana and Jill, that you are in the US, right? And then we
Yes.
have Ave and
Indrek.
Indrik, yeah, because I see your um, yeah, from Estonia, and I don't know if you want to share more about the place and the story why in Estonia and what's there. And again, it's for anyone that feels.
I just took a time and changed my name, so screen also. I can add something because I live where we are making the village happen. I live 3 kilometers exactly from the location it's going to happen, from the schoolhouse. So it's a local schoolhouse, and I had opportunity to go into that school my first 5 years of my basic education, and then I changed the school, and my younger brother was headmaster of that school for 3 years. He did a big change in the school, so school has a really different breathing from then on, and now school is again in midst of big change because 3 local schools have been made or put together with one bigger one. So there's now 1 school emerging out of 3 schools this summer. So there was just election of a new headmaster. Just to give a background from the place of the school it's going to happen, because dragon dreaming also can be a educational thing. At least for me, it has been educational, as I consider I just almost by mistake happened to be in the team. And then I couldn't like step out of it anymore, and I just kept on going and going, and then a magic happened. Um, so I live on the island next to the place where we are going to have a village. It's a small island. There's 30,000 people, but it's for 30,000 people, it's a big island. So there's lots of nature around, lots of space. So people who come here from a bit more crowded places, there's lots of nature, air to breathe and move around. And maybe to talk about myself, I'm a nature artist, and I think since 15 years ago, I had a kind of like insight that I want to leave the world a bit more beautiful behind me than I found it from like when I was born here. So I have been doing some experiments in the nature, and while everybody are here, we will have an opportunity to also tune in into different spaces in nature. There's 2 relatively big labyrinths and 1 forest space, and also 1 magical garden that local blacksmith created 100 years ago. There's 2 different churches we are planning to visit. There's a magical bog, really well preserved wild nature we are planning to also to go and visit. So just before I started to talk, I was thinking about festivals, because at one point it was also called festival, Dragon Dreaming Arts Festival. And we ditched that name also because but it's not a festival. But I have been to many festivals, and mostly when I have been to the festival, I have been thinking like, okay, there's a shiny program and there's lots of performance and it's magical and it's awesome, but quite often I have felt that there's not enough space for true communication and like talking circles and just to hang around and move around. And I like these kind of things. And usually when I go to the festival, I go because of the people. And because of the people I don't know, because that's where the magic happens, and that's what I'm waiting for. Like all these different people I don't know are coming here, and because of all these different people, it's impossible to know what will exactly happen. Even if we have a program, all the people participating in it will add themselves into the equation, and then it's no one can predict exactly what will happen, and I find it exciting. So and that has been the exciting part for me from the beginning on, because I didn't know also the people I'm in team with almost at all before we started to gather every week. So now I know them quite well, and it's magical to work with them and to see this event unfolding. And to see all the people in almost a bit more than a month now. So I
Yeah.
think that's me right now. Thank you.
My name is Ave. I'm from Estonia as well, mainland, but I live a little bit like nomadic life with my family. So my dream was to bring all this together. Otherwise, when you go somewhere to have, like, for example, even dragon dreaming workshop or something, you come away from your natural place and then you go back and try to integrate it all. But now in this village format, it's like I want to bring my students. I'm a puppeteer and I do creative classes for kids. So I want to bring my students and I want to bring my family as much as they are willing and have time. And the main thing for me is sometimes I get this too much anxiety when there's a lot of people. So we want to do it so that the nature would have a really big place in communicating and as a place to be. So I will be holding the wild camp area who wants to really camp in the wild and to kind of balance. So I'm trying to, for me, yeah, it's like lifestyle thing to bring all these things together into one. It's like, and as we started this now, when there's summer in Estonia, I feel like I've started living it here in Pärnu at the moment. So when the time comes, I will move my village to your village, and we have a big village. And I can't wait to meet you, Uri, because I think 2 winters ago I planned to visit you in Italy and had travel plans, but they changed. So now you're coming here with your family. It's like it's really awesome gift. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Ava and Indrek, and yeah, and I feel I shared before that I have been in Estonia many years ago in 2013, so yeah, 14 years ago, and it was my first international workshop masterclass that I was giving, and I was invited to Tallinn, and yeah, it was a great experience, and for anyone who doesn't know about Estonia, it's in the Baltic, and it's Saaremaa and Tallinn are basically, I think, on the other side of the Baltic, in front of Finland, so south of Finland, um, and yeah, and it's August, so I think it's a good time of year to be north, in as much as possible. But there's also, yeah, the being in nature and being in, um, I'm using the word community, but I feel I really like the word village. So just to echo that and to say that village not as I, what I feel is that we use sometimes the word village and eco village specifically in the West without understanding what it is. We kind of we want this eco village, but we have a completely what I feel a completely disassociated idea of village because we've been so far away from community for so long. We haven't lived and experienced community, so we kind of think about a village as a certain group of people that live in a certain place forever, which is first of all not feasible because that's not how things go. Like we don't live forever, and and a true village is moving, is vibrant. When I went to Africa, I said, oh, this is a village, and and it's alive. It's not something static, and it's not something that is just this group of people. I feel like a healthy village is moving. And in this particular case, this is a temporary village, what we say. And sometimes in the work we do with Hector, he also uses this term temporary village. So the workshop, when we stay 3, 4, 5 days, that's a sort of temporary village. um, and there are even practices that we use that is called village, or so there is one in social presence in theater, and there is one we do with Hector, and they're different, but the essence of them are the same. It's kind of how do we build relationship in our social relationship with people that we know and we don't know. Because I think that's kind of the truth of things, that the world is made of primarily these two group of people we know and people we don't know, and and a lot of other people that we know, and we don't know we don't know. So there is like, this is like the aha of people. But what I feel, especially after the post-pandemic world we're living in, and the very socially disrupted, polarizing world, it's become essentials that we relearn how to be with one another, beyond our knowing or not knowing. So kind of re-exercises our skills. And my dream is, to have this experience with all of you, and other who will join, and be in this temporary village, which maybe is not so temporary. Maybe the temporary is the permanent at this point. And maybe we are going into a world that, for good or for bad, is ending in a way that nothing can be, permanent in that sense. And in this impermanence, uh, a lot of things will happen, a lot of suffering as well, but then a lot of beauty and a lot of possibility at the same time, and a lot of joy and a lot of purpose. Um, so yeah, and I really don't have any particular questions, just again adding my own dream. And again, if you want to add more of your dream and vision, we are coming with our two daughters, and um, we sort of plan, without being fixated about the when and the how, to offer some of our work. Especially Ilaria would probably want to offer, with others that might come, the truth mandala, which is a ritual from work that reconnect, where we look into the kind of the honoring the pain for the world, and the ecological grief of this moment, and then finding meaning in all of this. And I'm be happy to share the Council of All Being, or the Rainbow of All Being, because now I've been kind of reworking the Council of All Being to include other forms of knowledge and creation, um, which is also bringing the more than human beings, and creating masks, and ex exploring the wisdom of the more than human, embodying it, and allowing it to, which both comes from the work that we connect. And then just being open to whatever, some of you we've been co-creating with Dragon Quest, and it would be nice to meet in person and play it in person. And um, I love this work with art and nature art, labyrinth and soil. I'm currently working on a project with soil sounds, and I don't know. I kind of enjoy the fact that, in some things I have ideas of what will happen, and in some other ways I have no idea what will happen. And that it's having a sort of a sense of possibility, and staying with that sense of possibility without being sort of locked into, okay, this and this and that. Because I think, because it's summer, and I think it's good to come without an agenda, but just because I feel that's maybe a more honest and authentic way of living life.
Yeah.
I think also that one thing I found about this team, like when the term village sort of came up, is that everybody involved, to me, and even in the artwork we all do, and the other work, has a sense of wonder and keeps that very close. And sometimes that wonder means not knowing what's going to happen, and sometimes it means openness, and sometimes it means connecting with your imagination or nature. But this is not a thing that I would put on the program, a sense of wonder. It's more something that is also a living entity. And I'm really eager to meet people I don't know, and so, again, some I do, to just have somewhere where that's really nurtured.
Mm. Yeah, that's so true. And I just also want to add that for me, it's also about like we're here like practicing a new culture,
Mhm.
like also, and we are coming, all of us here on the team, and Yuri and other collaborators, but also anybody else, like part of like remembering my childhood experience in village, that everybody comes what I call with their toys. You know, like and let's play together. So like in adults, I call it toys and tools. Like you can bring, like, you know, like I'm bringing the tools of dragon dreaming process of creating this culture of collaboration and teamwork and co-creation together. And also I'm very much love the work that reconnects, and I've done that as well. And you know, and other people bringing other things, like Jill is bringing story circles, and we have some people coming in with African dance. And yeah, and let's create space for all of that to happen. That's why we wanted to have 2 weeks, so there is enough space, and then you can come for as much or as long as you can and like, and you can keep coming back. So it's an open space. That's a big thing of dragon dreaming culture, creating open spaces or horizontal structures where we all co-creating together. While we as a team, we're holding space, we take the responsibility for certain things, but then others can come in and decide how much you want to share or be a part of it.
I can also add some things. One thing is that I have been living in the village almost my whole life, in a small village with around 20 farms. So, and I moved back into that village where I grew up around 15 years ago. So now I have been living back in this village for 15 years, and it has been lots of growing, because when I came back, there was almost no one. Like I was the first new generation fellow who decided to move back to the place where he was born, and now there's more people and more people, and the whole village has become really lively in these 15 years. And one thing I have noticed is, and also one part why I want to be part of this village, and why I see a huge value in it, having outsiders coming into this local community. Because what I experienced here in this village was that when I came back, there started to become these summer villagers who had their summer house there, and they also became part of the community. And let's say in the beginning I was a bit skeptical, like, but what how come you start to come be part of the community and say what to do and so on, because you even don't live here. But slowly I started to realize, and now I'm immensely grateful for these people who came with fresh insights or fresh energy and fresh perspective about the place I was living. And now I see the whole village has benefited like a lot out of these all different people from different backgrounds and so on. And that's why I see, and that's part of my dream, having these people all over the world in a way coming here and having their perspective about this certain community they're living, and like having this exchange of this energies, like this fresh input into the local dream, and also to like co-create a collective dream out of it. And the big part why I'm part of it is dragon dreaming itself, because I didn't have any background knowledge about dragon dreaming when I stepped into the team. So I have been like learning a lot from Svetlana and Chill and others. Like, okay, that's how we do it in dragon dreaming's way, and and it has been educational journey. And I hope we are sharing and learning a lot during these 2 weeks about dragon dreaming as well, because I mean, the whole event is a fruit of journey dreaming in Dragon Dreaming way, the whole thing to happen in a way. So yes, and maybe some practical things like if we also add a practical layer, like concrete practical layer, what is like a certainty at the moment is we have a schoolhouse, not too small schoolhouse, but like let's say middle-sized schoolhouse all for us. So everybody who come have a hotel room in a classroom, basically, where we can all have this village happening. We have a really beautiful kitchen in the schoolhouse, so the food will be made there for all of us. I'm also responsible for part of the food being grown. I'm growing food in a labyrinth, actually. I was going to say around one labyrinth, but I'm planting some paprikas and different things in another labyrinth also next day. So there will be lots of local fresh food in the kitchen and on our plates. All the sleeping places will be provided, as I mentioned, in the classrooms. And there's washing space, so we can have a shower and so on, toilets, everything. So it's proper schoolhouse, and in that sense, we have a roof on top of us, and that's all secure. And Ave also has a bit wilder experience for all the people who want to have a nature camp and maybe sleep under the bare sky. Then that's also a possibility, and cook food on the fire and all that kind of things. And we are having fire in the middle of the labyrinth, and also a ritual in the labyrinth, all these kind of things. But yeah, I won't say anymore. So thank you.
Maybe one more thing is the Econometric Dragons project. It's a dragon dreaming project as well, but this is about traveling. And so we want to come to Saaremaa and wants this journey to be meaningful, then we can help in this way as well to discuss how to make it so it would be meaningful and awesome. And Svetlana told me to say something about art flow, but I'm not sure what you mean, Svetlana. Can you help me out here?
Well, maybe I'm gonna celebrate Ave. She's our like amazing artist in the team. And also Jill and I, we noticed like when we talk and plan, she puts everything in drawings. Like, and this is how we designed this retreat and the flow we have, because there is a flow. It's not there is no structure at all. We have, but it's a very fluid flow. It's like the wave, and we talk about like, there will be time to come together and be focused on something, and there'll be time to come out and do whatever you want. So there is space for work and play and being together and being on your own. And then she put in a beautiful drawing that I think Yuri, maybe you can attach how we see the flow. So instead of like doing a linear way, like this is this, like we're like creating it. There is a flow and we can come and go.
And maybe the all ages is like, it's very close to my heart to have youngsters and kids and students, and in different ages to bridge all the gaps, like with the youngsters and kids to get the communication with the nature going real good. Some are very good in this, but just to make sure, like to see how this goes. And I'm very excited about this as well.
And also, they've already said, the people that Ave is bringing, the youth Ave is bringing, some of them have already said that they want to help with cooking, or they wanted to go swim. And so that's already started informing that, oh yeah, let's have a beach day, not just for them separately, but for whoever wants to. And the cooking as well. It's like, how can we make an arts village that isn't just defined by age, or everybody has a certain role. And that seems really I feel it's very important to me. And as a teacher, that's what I've always tried to do, is make whoever I'm teaching partners instead of I'm up here and they're down here. So I think some of the magic of the village has already started among us.
Mm-hmm.
And I find I'm drawing things a lot more instead of taking notes, which really was inspired by Ave, and that's just one way. But the thing is that it feels very alive before it's even happened, and I've never experienced that. And so now it's just the opening out of it to include other people.
And for the youngsters, I think what's most important to get them dreaming, like properly dreaming, because especially when they're already like 15 something, they get so into the head with what they need to do with their lives, like what's profitable or what to, like, how to make it. So, and I always encourage them to say that, like, say your dream, like to say it out, you already start finding people who resonate with us, and however absurd it is, just to start with the dreams. And I think we can, like, this camp can really help them in this way as well. I think it's very important for the young lives,
Yeah.
well, for older ones as well, but
Yeah.
especially for them.
Yeah, thank you for sharing all of this, and I think I will attach for sure the link for people to register and potentially support on the fundraising, on the empowered fundraising, and whether you're able to join or not, that you just want to support this initiative, you're welcome, and in this way being part of it. Um, and yeah, also sharing the word, I imagine could be something, maybe you're listening to this, you're seeing that as, oh, this is perfect for this and that. Um,
Just wanted to
and
mention the last thing. Sorry, Yuri, that if you cannot join, we're going to create a documentary about it. So we will be happy to share. And also, we may have a Zoom session because our bigger dream is to bring this experience to other countries in the world and other settings. So if you feel called, if you feel interested, like reach out to us as well for the future.
yeah, so yeah, I've mentioned to the team that, I've been co-organizing experiences like that. In particular, one was in 2015 called the Theater for Transition Learning Village, and it sort of was similar in the sense that we met regularly on Skype with people we didn't met, and then we all met in person. And there was about 50 people in a small eco village in Italy. And what I can say, looking back from over 10 years since then, the amount of projects and creativity and potential that emerge directly and indirectly from that is quite astonishing. So I really believe that such experiences could be something that sparks uh, many other projects. So, and I feel Dragon Dreaming sometimes it's a community project, creation project that creates communities. So it's a and somehow, sometimes, or many times in the world of today, in order to create community, we need to, I feel, start working together on a project, not important the project, and then the project creates the community, um, and then the community creates other projects. So the one thing leads to the other kind of thing. Um, and yeah, I'm excited to join you all. And again, people can look up and get the information here, and if not, they can reach out. I think there's an email, and yeah, it's a time is coming soon. So I hope to see you in Estonia and join the village.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Yuri.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
And by the way, now saying thank you, it just popped in my mind. The labyrinth is called Tänu tuli, in English, gratitude of fire. So it's all about gratitude. And yes.
Gratitude of fire and the labyrinth. Beautiful. Yeah. So come into the labyrinth of gratitude of fire. And yeah, there's a place around the fire. Social art. Social
Regeneration is our collective responsibility.
Regeneration.
Regeneration.
Universal
Regeneration.
right.